I hope you're all enjoying your meals. I'm just so grateful to be able to spend this afternoon with all of you as we truly celebrate our donor heroes. Before the role that I'm in now at Live On Nebraska, I spent the majority of my career in hospital rooms sitting with families just like yours, talking about the opportunity for donation. During that time, people would often say to me, I can't even imagine doing the job that you do, that it must be just so sad and heavy and painful to carry every day. And my response has always been the same. For me, it was the greatest privilege of my life. Of course, every family I worked with was facing unimaginable loss, heartbreak, and grief. And yet, the thing about grief is this: the depth of our grief is a testament to the depth of our love and connection. Dr. Colin Murray Parks said, "The pain of grief is just as much a part of life as the joy of love. It is perhaps the price we pay for that love." I had the privilege of coming to work every day, surrounded not only by great sadness, but by extraordinary love. And I never took a single tear, a single moment of silence, or a single breath of courage for granted. Over the years, I've come to recognize there are two kinds of donor heroes. The first are the people who make the decision to register. People who choose long before it's ever needed to offer hope and life to someone they will never know. They expect nothing in return. No recognition, no thank you. They simply choose to put good out into the world. The second kind of donor heroes are the families. Families who, in the midst of their own pain and darkness, reach across time and distance to place hope into someone else's darkest moment. Families who understand at a profound level that we're all connected, and that love can ripple far beyond what we can see. It has been the greatest privilege of my life to serve donor families for the last decade, because you have shown me again and again that good still exists in the world, that generosity survives even the hardest moments. Together, we have transformed loss into hope. We have changed the ending of stories and created connections across distance and time. We have woven a beautiful tapestry of hope, one stitched together by generosity, courage, and love. There are no words that are sufficient to express my gratitude, so I'll simply say this: thank you for your hope, for your courage, and for your generosity. It truly does change the world. Now I would like to introduce our first speaker, Jim Neal. Jim is a Grateful Heart recipient of more than 5 years, here to share with us all the ways his life has been changed by his donor. Please help me welcome Jim.
Good afternoon. My name is Jim Neal. I received my donor heart 5 years ago on April 10th, 2021. I would like to begin by saying thank you to Live On Nebraska and Kara for the opportunity to share thoughts and feelings our family have had through my health journey. Most importantly, I want to thank all donors and the donor families here today. Without you, countless people would not have had a second chance to live and enjoy life. Your selfless acts of generosity and sacrifice, help others in need, deserve to be acknowledged. I'm thankful every day to be able to enjoy my family and be part of my grandchildren's lives. I also know my donor's family made the ultimate sacrifice. I live today because their loved ones chose to be an organ donor. Our family consists of my wife, Karen, and our son, Sam. Together, and his wife, Annie, have our 3 grandchildren, Stella, 18, Kohler, 15, and Sylvia, 11. I'm a retired middle school teacher of 39 years. I spent most of my years at one school teaching students industrial and vocational curriculum. I was a shop teacher. My health journey began nearly 25 years ago when I was diagnosed with heart failure in 2001. My heart was not functioning as it should, only pumping 12% of blood to the rest of my body. A healthy heart should pump 50 to 70%. Thankfully, with medications, a defibrillator, and dedicated doctors and nurses, closely monitoring my heart and continuously adjusting my medications enabled me to continue teaching and living a somewhat normal life. Then in 2016, I began experiencing flash pulmonary edema. The inability to breathe is horrifying. The heart medications were no longer able to support my heart. I received a left ventricle assist device, an LVAD, in July 2017. The implanted mechanical heart pump, external motor, and batteries required consistent care to prevent infection. I could not swim or take a bath because of the external driveline. There are risks of infection, bleeding, blood clots, stroke, and device malfunctions. My granddaughter Stella made a sign that we hung by our door. Stop. Did you forget Grandpa's bag? We had to take extra LVAD batteries everywhere we went. Soon after completing cardiac rehab, I met with Dr. Brian Lowe's at UNMC and began evaluation for placement on the heart transplant list. On October 27, 2017, I was officially placed on the United Network for Organ Sharing Patient Waiting List for a heart transplant. Then in November 2018, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. On our way home from the doctor's office, we received a call informing us that I had been removed from the heart transplant list. We were told we may have to wait 1 to 5 years to be relisted for transplant. I had a prostatectomy in February of 2019 to remove the cancer. Thankfully, on May 3rd, I was relisted on the National Heart Transplant List. Waiting only 169 days after surgery versus 5 years. My LVAD alarm sounded at 2 a.m. on February 28th, 2021. We went to the UNMC emergency room. It was determined that my LVAD had an electrical malfunction, a short to shield failure. Due to the risk of my LVAD pump stopping, I was admitted to the hospital and told I would not be allowed to leave the hospital until after the heart transplant or replacement of my LVAD. On April 10th, 2021, at 2:56 a.m., I received a call informing me, we have a heart, Dr. accepted a heart for me. 7:30 p.m., the heart transplant surgery began. 4:52 a.m., Karen and Sam were allowed to see me. Then on April 11th, there were complications requiring a second surgery to enable the heart to beat. My first words to Karen after surgery were, "I'm shaking. My heart is beating. It's amazing." I had not heard or felt a heartbeat during the 4 years I had my LVAD. The impact of receiving my new heart has changed my life, and it's shown me just how much generosity exists in the world, especially from my donor and their family. Their selfless act opened my eyes to the kindness and goodness in people, and it made me appreciate how remarkable humans can be. That's why we're here today, to recognize and celebrate the donors and donor families. We also don't tell these stories often enough. Our community needs to hear how we show up for one another. Because we share this compassion, it may inspire others to sign up to be an organ and tissue donor. I'm deeply grateful for those who choose to help someone they may never meet. Thank you for making a difference and giving others a second chance at life. Over the past 25 years, my quality of life has been quite a journey. There were times when my health continued to decline, and there were moments I wasn't sure what would come next. But because of my donor and their family, I was given an opportunity that many people never receive. My second chance at life means I got to live and truly enjoy life with better health and a full heart. I cherish each day. I treasure the time I have with my family and friends. After receiving my donor's heart, it was the simple ability to shower without being wrapped in plastic to protect my driveline that gave me a sense of freedom. I was able to tuck in my shirt for the first time in nearly 4 years. My family cried the first time I was able to get into the lake. We can now go on family vacations. You see, during the 4 years on the transplant waiting list, I needed to stay within 100 miles of the hospital. I look forward to seeing Stella graduate from high school and to continue her education at the University of Nebraska. I enjoy watching Kohler play baseball and going fishing with him. I get to watch Sylvia and find her passion in art, volleyball, basketball, or just being a happy girl. Every moment is a gift. I hold it close to my heart. I cannot say thank you enough. In closing, I would like to share with you a poem written by my daughter-in-law. Annie wrote this 6 days after the transplant, at a time when complications made survival uncertain, and we were hoping for my donor's heart to grow stronger. The name of this poem is Heart of Gold. Precious, fragile, eviction notice at the door. Not sure what is happening. I can't see anymore. Pushing, pulling, tired and cold. Listless, lonely, I can't move anymore. In a new place, this doesn't feel right. I was happy where I was up until that night. Yet something feels familiar, compassion, love. There's a kindness here, maybe sent from above, pleading with me, talking to me, begging me to stay. Please wake up, I hear him pray. I've been waiting to meet you, he says. Please don't go now. I can't live without you. I just don't know how. A warmth surrounds me. I think I remember how. One beat, then another. I've got the hang of it now. Thank you, he shouts, grateful beyond belief. In my new home, at last I feel a sense of relief. A second lease on life. The sign now reads, precious, fragile, I'm all that he needs. By Ed. Thank you.
Poet Mary Oliver once said, "Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?" Our lives are indeed precious, and most of us would do anything for the ones we love and in the hopes of living a fulfilling life. I, too, hope for all of those things in my own life. I have sat in your shoes as a donor family member, and I now speak to you as a grateful tissue recipient. Thanks to some very special donors, I have the chance to share a message of thanks with all of you here right now. Today, I'll share with you how my story has come full circle and all the things I plan to do with this one wild and precious life. My story begins 8 years ago. Shortly after I began working at Live on Nebraska, I'm now the volunteer and events coordinator. I returned home from a conference in Oregon to learn that my dad was being taken to the hospital. The next several months would become a blur: congestive heart failure, triple bypass surgery, and funeral arrangements. My dad passed away October 29th, nearly 8 years ago. He was my best friend, loved having his friends over for parties in the backyard, loved playing board and card games on family nights, and he loved to cook for those who mattered the most to him. As a former nursing student, he loved that I worked at Live on Nebraska, and all the things that I got to see and do as part of my job. We had so many conversations about donation, and his sentiment was, if I'm gone, I want to help as many people as possible. I don't need it anymore. 8 years ago, his wishes became a reality. The first thing that we all talked about in the hospital after he had passed away was that he would want to help organizations just like mine. My dad helped more than 80 people through tissue donation, donating skin, bones, and corneas. I have heard back from his cornea recipient, and I learned that she is a grandmother and a great-grandmother in Iowa who's had the chance to see all of her grandchildren's beautiful faces because of her transplant. I would like to share with you what she wrote to me. Dear Emily, your dad sounds like an amazing person, and I know that he meant everything to you. I can tell by the beautiful letter you wrote to me. I lost my father when I was 20. He meant everything to me also. I am now doing very well with my new cornea. For almost a year before that, I was having lots of troubles. I spent most of my days in my dark bedroom because the light hurt my eyes so bad. After missing a summer of our granddaughter's softball games and all of our 2 grandsons' baseball games, I am now able to watch them all. One of our older grandsons had a baby girl in May 2019, our first great-granddaughter, and she is beautiful. Our oldest grandson was married in August 2019 in Texas. It was a beautiful wedding and a wonderful trip. We drove down there, and I enjoyed seeing all of the sights along the way. I, too, am registered to be a donor someday. It is very important to me. It was so nice to learn so many wonderful things about your dad. I feel very honored to be one of his recipients. I think you are pretty amazing also for taking the time to write to me to let me know where my cornea came from. I would like to express my sincere thanks to you and all of your family. Marcia. To know my dad did that makes me more proud than I can express. Our loved ones are truly making a difference in this world. They are making life possible. My story of donation and transplantation doesn't end there. In fact, it is just the beginning. A few years after my dad passed, I was at a doctor appointment. She was new to me, so I was asked to discuss past medical history with my family with her so she could learn more about me. She learned that breast cancer runs in my family and that my mom was diagnosed twice since I've been born. Once when I was 4 years old and again when I was 20 years old. She was 29 and 45. I was her caretaker the second time around. So hearing this, my doctor encouraged me to get genetic testing done to see if there were genetic reasons the breast cancer kept coming back. After a quick and painless spit test, I learned that I carry the BRCA1 gene mutation. Here's what that means. My chances of getting breast cancer at some point in my life were 85%, and my chances of getting ovarian cancer are 50%. No one wants to hear those numbers, but I refused to let it get me down. So I called my doctors and told them I wanted a preventative mastectomy. Through the breast and reconstructive surgeries, I became a very proud and grateful recipient of skin grafts. Some of the same grafts my dad donated nearly 8 years ago. My story came full circle, and I can't tell you how much it means to me that someone either checked a box to become a donor and or their family supported their wishes and made it a reality for me. Now I get to live life on my terms without the anxiety of not if, but when I'll get breast cancer. Why else does this matter? Well, now, thanks to my donors and their courageous families, I get to raise a family of my own. I get to chase sunsets and travel to see the ocean with my child. I get to watch him play soccer and swim laps in the pool. Every day is a gift that I get the privilege of being around to see. This life is something I will never take for granted. So thank you. Thank you for your bravery in coming today and listening to these messages of gratitude. Thank you for honoring your loved one and the decision that they made to help those in need. And thank you for making them proud each and every day.
As we bring our time together to close, I want to first say something simple but deeply sincere. Thank you. Thank you to the donor heroes and to each of you who made the selfless decision to give life and healing to others, and to those who honored those decisions, often in moments of profound grief, turning loss into hope for someone else. Thank you to the donor heroes, and thank you to the recipients, Jim and Emily, who shared their brave stories, reminding us of what is truly possible because of generosity. In my work at Live On Nebraska, I often think about the word legacy. But legacy isn't something that happens someday. It's something that is happening right now. It's happening when a grandparent sees a grandchild for the first time, when a parent gets more years with their children, when someone gets to return to work, to the park, to a simple moment that once felt impossible. Your loved ones are not just remembered, they are truly living on in milestones, laughter, and life. On behalf of every member of the Live On Nebraska team, those you see here today and those who are currently working behind the scenes, please know this, that we do not take your trust lightly, and we do not take these gifts for granted. We will continue to honor your heroes with integrity, compassion, and unwavering respect. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your stories. And thank you for reminding us that even in the hardest moments, that humanity still shines. On the back of the agenda, this little card here, is a QR code that will allow you to watch and share the tribute video again. Please travel safely and know that your presence today has made a difference. Thank you all.